Hey everybody, Arthur here with yet another unboxing video. Today we got Transformers, Titans Return, Autobot Sovereign, and Alpha Trion. What a lot of people call as Lion Trion or Trion Lion, however you want to nickname him. But let's take a look at this packaging. He is a Voyager class, and he's got like the cool little art of his head detaching and all that good stuff, like your typical box. Got the art on the side. Really cool looking artwork. Love how this is all glowy and it's got the cool little etchings. Really good art. Then on the back, get a little bit of a closer look here. Basically, you got him in his little robot form, looking like a pretty badass, like samurai. The sword, it's a little head version. Turns into the lion. Little like aircraft carrier, spaceship type deal. Little dude can go in the cockpit, and then it actually shows, you know, compatibility. And I almost picked up Astro Train instead of this one, but you know, I gave the option to my wife. I was like, "Hey, I'm looking at these two. Which one would you go with?" And I was aiming for the Trion one, but Astro Train just has a lot of, some sort of sentimental value because when I was a kid, I had the original G1 Astro Train, and I was like, "Hey, why not get the newer version, revamped version?" But the Trion one really trumped that one just because of the look of the figure. Plus, he comes with a pretty awesome looking sword on top of that. But let's go ahead and pop him out of his case and take a look at his robot form a little bit more in depth, his details, the sculpt, all that good stuff. And then I will do the little changes into his three forms. And then at the end, do a little comparison. We got Alpha Trion out of the package, looking amazing. And before we get into the whole sculpt of this figure and the details and the nitty gritty, let's see what he came with in the box. So he did come with the manual here, looking nicer than a lot of other manuals that I've received, especially with him being a Voyager class, And then he came with, just like everybody else, this awesome little card here with the awesome artwork. His looks really cool. This is Alpha Trion, Titans Return. And then as you can see, he's infinite. I wonder if he can beat Fortress Maximus because his card was basically very similar. But yeah, I guess with Sovereign or without, Alpha Trion can whoop some major ass. So guess he's good to be on the Autobots side. But let's take a look at the figure a little bit more up close. And he did come with a couple more accessories, but I'll get into that after. So let's get this to focus, yeah. And as you can see, the sculpt work on this is pretty awesome. I really like the sculpt work right on the chest. Looking really cool. I love the center orb. Has that like little orange glow to it in a sense. But looking amazing. Like all the detail on this figure. Like I was gonna get him or Astro Train, and it's like this figure just really grabbed me. All the sculpt work. And really like the little armor flap right there. Because, I mean, a lot of people aren't happy with this look of Alpha Trion. They like his older style look. And honestly, this to me still has the samurai feel to it. Like, his theme, like, because he used to be like, he had that whole like long Fu Manchu wise look to him, and to me, I just think he's him, but in his samurai armor. But one thing I do like is the fact that even like with a lot of Transformers, side profiles aren't the greatest because they're just basically like shink cutting down. But with this one, if I can tilt him up a little bit, his side profile is actually pretty nice. Even looking on the back, the figure itself is really nice as well. The only thing I have a gripe about is the pauldrons are really, really flat on the back. The legs don't seem too hollow because normally some figures will have like this big gap right there. It has a little cockpit right there. But like if you look sideways, the pauldrons are the only thing that needs like something. I don't know. So just a little bit of more to make it seem less flat. But the overall figure is awesome. I couldn't be happier. But I do have a little issue with this, one of his gimmicks. So you got this little orb, right? And, you know, it looks all cool. But if you press it, it's a button. The rest of it is like a little samurai helmet thing pops up. Okay? And at that point, you don't use the ball peg in the Titan Master, or the Headmaster, or whatever you want to call it. It rotates like that. Okay? My problem is, I could pop the head off. If you look, you know, it's pretty simple and straightforward. Normally you'd push this down till it clicks. No, it's not really clicking. There, it clicked, right? The only way I can get mine to work is if I tilt mine sideways like that. And it stays when it's angled like that. But if I were to see if I can do this without, if I rotate the purple, like just a little, yeah, I was just rotating the purple, it pops up. So I don't know how I feel about that. You know, sort of disappointing. I don't know if anybody else is having that issue. So if you do have that issue with this figure, please comment below so I know. All right, let's get into his little Sovereign. Take a look at his plain color looking figure. See if we can get a little bit better focus in there so we can get all those details. But yeah, as you can see, like he has your typical, I call this the typical Optimus Prime look with when they have the visor mouth or the faceplate mouth. But, you know, overall, figure has the little ball joint on the shoulders. You know, just like all the other ones. Belly button screw. This folds, you know, you get a nice seating position. Legs straight. Fold this down. Bust his legs forwards. You know, the typical thing you'd get with these little guys. And we got here too is we have his head, which is an amazing sculpt. Still has the little goatee and the Fu Manchu mustache. Looking very stern, wise, and really, really ready for battle. Like, just really badass looking. It pops right back on there as this is all blurry as shit for you guys. Alright, so we have that. Then he does come with a couple accessories. Start with one, and as you can see, it's just sort of like I guess the Titan Master could fit in there and have a little vehicle that rides around with 3 cannons on it. It does have the peg hole. He could hold it as a gun. If you want to bring it in this way. So totally popped it out of his hands. But yeah, you can definitely have it as a gun. Pop it on the side leg if you want. But I mean, I guess you could even pop it on the back of these. But honestly, the best place for it, in my opinion, is right there. The reason I say that is because you got the armor piece in the front, and now the armor piece in the back sort of makes it complete. So that's where I will be keeping mine when he's in this form. And he does come with this really cool, I don't even know if you can tell with the glare here, but like a really cool clear sword. This sword is badass. Like, this is not a reason why this figure attracted me to it. I was just like, the sword's awesome. The detail is amazing. And it just slides right in. So we're ready for Alpha Trion to go to battle. So really cool. But that's not all he can do. Let's turn him into his forms. Let's get him transformed, which, again, first time I opened him up. So I haven't even, as you can tell, I haven't even touched this manual. So let's, let me look it over, transform him so you guys don't see me struggling. Here we got Alpha Trion in his lion form. So, looking pretty cool. It's, really cool way of doing, like, the head on this guy. It's like his hands are his bottom jaw. Got the cool little lion with a unicorn, like a little horn, I guess. And still looks, the sculpt work still looks amazing, and even in robot form. Now, one thing I did do is I put the little gun thing down at the bottom to sort of fill up the gappage right there. Popped it right under. Keep it looking thick. And then, his sword sort of attaches under that flap. And is a sword tail butt plug looking thing. I don't know. I just don't like how it's just sort of like sticking straight up. But it is what it is with that. So it looks like from over here. The other side. Now, one thing I did have issues with is, of course, the little spring part keeps popping up, so it's pushing this part up, which is a pain. But I got it to work. But what sucks is you lift up this little line. It almost looks like a little lion head right there. If I can get it to focus a little bit. That orange plastic's hard to capture. So you lift this up, and then you got little Sovereign in there. Now, if you look, I'll take him out. He has like a cool little spot. He's got the little peg underneath. Supposed to peg him in, right? Push him all the way back. So he's sitting in there, looking all pretty cool. Well, that's as far as that goes. So pretty much a little bit of disappointment, but you have to like actually not pop him in. Sort of lay him in there. And that still didn't work, but yeah, I had it in there earlier. You just have to finagle it to where that will close. So one of those things where it's just like little things like that sort of irk you when you're putting a transformer together, when things just don't click or fit the way they should, or they're described as per the instructions. It can be a pretty frustrating. But two things out of the entire figure so far, not too bad. Mainly that spring is the biggest one. This part I really don't care too much about, as I can get it to work in a different way. But the spring part, very frustrating. But really, really cool form. And again, like, one thing that's really cool too is in this form, you really see that Autobot symbol. Looking like that paint app for that Autobot symbol is like perfect. Looks really good. So let's go ahead and turn him into his ship form, and that'll be the last form, and then I'll change it back and we'll do a little size comparison to the other Titan Masters. Here we have Alpha Trion in his little spaceship, battleship, aircraft carrier, whatever type of spacecraft this may be. It's his form, and it's a pretty solid form. The sword sort of popped up on the, you put it on the side, which to me is weird. Does it shoot like lightning from it? How does it work? Not too sure. The gun pops up here, and as you can see, we got a little sound blaster guest appearance going on right here, just to sort of give an idea, because when you're looking at this spacecraft, it has a bunch of little, see it here without it being super blurry, you got a bunch of little pegs, so you can put a bunch of little Titan Masters on there if you really wanted to. If he doesn't want to sit in there, he can actually put them in there to man the guns, because you got Sovereign, chilling, flying the ship. I guess he'd be flying it, or would try and be flying it. I don't know. But either way, therefore you can keep your Sovereign in the cockpit, and then have your extra, Titan Masters come and be part of this little ship. But taking Sound Blaster away, sword attached to the side, like I said. You got a cool little like kickstand right there to help prop up the ship, so it stays all nice. And really how everything lines up looks amazing. I guess it's sort of like a spaceship aircraft carrier, because things could land on it, but it's sort of small. Yeah, I mean, this is basically a ship form. The lion heads snap on the side. It's the back with my shit that won't stay in again. But hey, it's looks good with it out. Therefore, it's not just like looking like a little butthole. So, but yeah, I mean, for being a ship form, it is definitely not too bad. You don't even have to have this technically right here. Oh, crap. As you can pop it in the hole on the side here. Sort of like I just did. Therefore, you can free up that whole space. And I guess I could fit like a small little spaceship or something like that. Maybe like a, a razor beak or something like that. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I like his lion form a lot more. But as a ship design, it's pretty solid. But let's get him put together. Let's compare him to Soundwave and Soundwave's little crew, and sort of get an idea of like size for a Voyager class to a leader class and things like that. There you guys have it. You have Alpha Trion and Sovereign Voyager class next to leader class Soundwave, and you got Rumble and Razorbeak as well in this whole shot. So give you a really cool size comparison, and it's a nice little happy Decepticon family. I mean, it looks awesome, and I can't wait to get Ravage to have with my Soundwave family, and trying to get a hold of Croc and the hell's the other one? Chasm, I think. Chasm, the tank, both those. But everywhere I go around here where I live, I don't see them, and all I see on eBay is just all the people buying them by the case and reselling them, which is unfortunate. I can find Wave 2 stuff, but the Wave 4 stuff I cannot find. So it's sad. Tears go down my face. But hopefully I will find them and add them to this group. But I hope you guys liked the little review. I really thank you guys for watching. And if you guys liked it, like it. If you want to continue seeing more of my miscellaneous videos, subscribe. And it definitely looks like we hit over 100 subscribers, so I will be doing a giveaway. I'm going to do a little contest to see who's actually watching and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that video, and then I'll do the drawing after that video to see who wins a nice little, call it the Arthur box, you know, have like a bunch of cool shit in it and send it to the winner. But again, I do thank you guys for watching. You have a great rest of your day.